All right, hey there, good morning, everybody. It's just after 11 a.m. Central Standard Time here on Monday, the 21st of December, 2020 in San Antonio, Texas. In case y'all haven't heard, this is going to be our only live stream this week. We're going to be closed from Wednesday through Sunday. Of course, getting ready for, Christmas and celebrating that, friends, family, traveling, all that fun stuff. Glad to see you guys joining in with that. If you're in Discord, obviously you guys are going to continue to get, the normal stuff up until Wednesday. And then as I always do, even though we're officially closed, I usually try to log in at least a few times, during those weekdays when we are closed and try and give you at least updates on Bitcoin, if not anything else. And then of course, Adam and Scott are usually checking in with y'all as well throughout that time too. So yeah, good times, right? Interesting weekend, right? A lot going on. Good to see you there, Sean. Hey there, LG. Navlusian's here. Telluride is here as well. Data checking in. Excuse me. Devin's here. Let's see here. TV Kanai, what's going on? Good to see you checking back in. Gian, or guys, I hope I said that right. Is it Gian? Gian. Good to have you here. LS checking in. I am doing well. Hopefully you all are also. I went ahead and uploaded a list of my trades. Since I stayed in town this weekend, I did a little bit of trading. As of this morning, from Friday to this morning, I've got 5 trades. The 5th one is the one that's currently open right now. I'm short, but I did post that there in Discord because every once in a while, people come in, oh, they don't trade. They're whatever you guys say, LARPers or whatever the heck that is. I don't have enough time to even go check up what that means. I assume it just means somebody who fakes something. So every once in a while I upload my trades just to kind of keep you all on your toes and let you know that I am trading. But if you think that kind of stupid thing, you know what? Go have your head checked. Seriously. If you don't have anything else better to do than to sit there and make stupid comments like that, you deserve anything you get coming at you. But anyway, so yeah, I've done 4 trades this weekend. All were profitable. But the other reason why I do this is because I continue to preach that, to be a successful trader does not mean that that you're selling the highest price and buying the lowest price. It just means that you're consistently locking in profits. And the easiest way to do that is get in, somewhere in the middle of the move when the price is really moving. That's the best way to do it. And so, by me posting this here, they can check the timestamps on it and the prices and see, where I got in and how it's not necessarily always the very top or always the very bottom, but it is profitable. Again, guys, just more of what we try to do, which is get you thinking right as a trader instead of thinking like crypto Twitter. Most of them people you follow on crypto Twitter, guys, they're going to lose. And then at the end of the day, they're going to lose. They might get a win here or there, or even get on a good streak, but they usually end up losing everything. Because again, like you, they're too concentrated, too worried about getting the absolute highest and lowest prices. So hopefully you guys can learn that and move on beyond that, because taking that kind of pressure off yourself is going to make your trading that much better. It really will. All right. Let me see here. Hey there, Farm D. Good to see you. Amber Lee checking in. What's going on? Happy holidays, my friend. Let me see here. TV Kanai says Bitcoin dump. ABC ready to go. We'll see. We'll see. There's no confirmation on anything yet, guys. There still could be some further upside. But we'll take a look at that dollar as well today, because if you've been paying attention, something happened this weekend. And the dollar acted like most people wouldn't have expected it. But it's something that I warned Discord about a few weeks back. Well, probably at least a month ago now. Hey there, Crypto Mowgli. Good to see you. Hey there, JT. You said you're waiting for a 60% correction to buy the dip. If we're getting a 60% correction, you might want to be a little careful about buying that dip. So, yeah, we'll take a look there. Hey there, Scott Sirhold. Good to see you guys. I am well. So anyway, hey, listen, guys. Join us at howtotradetowin.com. We'd love to have you with us. You can come on over here and just kind of scroll down. It'll tell you, it shows you who we are. It gives our pricing and everything we've got going on, what you get with all them channels and everything. But we will have some holiday pricing going on this week. So follow me on Twitter at TXWestCapital. You make sure you're following Scott Melker out there as well. Because I'll be posting my our holiday sale, I guess, thing for you guys to take advantage of, and Scott will probably retweet it at some point. Or you can just, if you come on over here and click the Discord here and hit the connect, and join that free side of our Discord. I'll put it in the announcements as well. So you guys will have that to look forward to if you want to jump in and join us at an even more cheaper rate than what we do with the especially for the multi-month purchases there. So, Scott, what's going on, man? If that's you, I don't know. I saw somebody. If that's you, check out the message I sent you, man. We got somebody imitating you again as usual with 3 followers. You guys, make sure you check the names and everything. The fake Scott Melker has 2 L's in the name, the fake one, and 3 followers. So, and only 300 tweets. If you guys know Scott, I think he posts 300 tweets in a week. He's a busy man. I love it. He says it's me, as if that means that we should all believe, right? No. I'll just get around with you, Scott. Anyway, guys, listen, join us. We have a lot of fun. Our members are absolutely killing it, guys. They are really on top of things, which is great because, we can only update so often. But these guys, man, these guys and gals are on it 24/7 because we got people from all over the world. So I was scrolling through some of the stuff from this weekend, man, when I was away, scrolling in there, and I came in this morning, just absolute great stuff going on. Lots of information in there. So real friendly bunch. Real friendly bunch. What if the real one lost a follower? Hey there, Crypto Girl. Good to see you. Oh, the real one has 4 now? Oh, they got a follower. Oh, my gosh. All right, guys. So here we go. Here's where we're at. Again, still trying to figure out what exactly is going on, right? So I've talked about this. And I've talked about the bigger picture with Bitcoin and the possibility of a large move down. I've talked about it for a while. A lot of people are thinking I'm an idiot and whatnot because they expected things to happen right away. Right now we're just at that area where we would expect normally for an expanded flat to kind of play out. But right now, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see, okay? For right now, locally, it does appear that maybe we had a leading or an ending diagonal going up here through Sunday. So you had basically an ABC for a 1, 2, ABC for a 3, 4, ABC for a 5. So it gives you this this right here. Yeah, like that. There we go. Like that right there. And so, as of Saturday, I guess this was Saturday, the 19th, we had this nice drop here right there at about 23,200, I think. Let me see here. This was right here around, 24,200. We had about about $1,100 drop. And then it moves back up just a slightly higher high, $100 higher at 24,300 here. And then we get a drop down for another $1,200. Price pushes back up here. And then from this swing high, which gets rejected at the R1 pivot there on the 15-minute, we get this drop which culminates this morning in a total decline there of about $2,200. So this is a lot of action, guys. This is a lot of action. It doesn't mean the top is in yet, but it means it could be. And it means if it's not, we're probably closer to it than we're not. Because you're getting these large, consistent back and forths. This is supply hitting demand consistently. You had it right over here. I mean, look at this, guys. Look at this. From the 17th of December, guys, you had what is that there? $1,500 drop. After that, you had a $1,350 drop. Right after that, you had about the same, about a $1,350 drop. It goes up, and then you get this decline down here for about $1,000 or so. But then it goes up there, and this is where you get the drop. You get these drops there, the 1,100, whatever, and going on. So, you've got a lot in this area here. You've got a lot of supply coming in. Now, that in itself does not mean that it's going all the way, or that it has to reverse and head down from here. Just like the stock to flow model, which only measures supply contraction of newly minted supply, not even full supply. It doesn't tell you what's going to happen if people are throwing supply onto the market. It just says, listen, there's less and less of this product being made. But as you guys should know, if you've taken even the most basic economics course, scarcity alone does not dictate price. There are a lot of things in this world that there's very little of, and they don't have high prices. You have to have demand for that product in addition to scarcity. So I just want you guys to be careful with that. So, that way, if that stock to flow model doesn't pan out, you weren't sitting here, banking on it. Now, again, if there is demand with scarcity, then it works. But if you're just looking at scarcity by itself, again, you can make up all the excuses why something should be adopted, or should be used, or people should be interested in. But if they're not, supply itself doesn't dictate price, okay? So let's make sure we're understanding there. Hey there, order flow. Good to see you. I like the name. Block Tech, what's going on? Good to see you as well. Let's see here. Altcoin College says, thanks, Scott, for tweeting about this. Hey, I appreciate you, Scott. Well, welcome. Good to have you here as well. And hey there, I cannot read your name here. You just said hi. Oh, 2D Game Mania. Good to see you. So anyway, guys, so this is kind of where we're at right now, okay? So now we've got two possibilities on this move down. And I tend to be very cautious when we have these large moves here in this area because they can be disguised. So, for instance, if I'm just to count this out, I would count a 1 and a 2, and then a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that gives us a 3 and a 4 and a 5. Now, if we've got 5 down, we necessarily will only have 3 up, and then we'll have at least 5 more down. Because at least this is at least an A if that's the case. Then we'd have 3 up for a B, 5 more down for a C. But the other way to look at this is potentially as an A, B, C. Okay? Again, I like the 5 count better. It seems clear. But we've all seen how that works out. It's not always necessarily, right? So if it is an A, B, C, then this is done and we're going to have at least 5 up. Now, this morning when I posted our update, we were right up in this area here. And at that time, I saw a pretty clear 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Since then, we've made a higher high. Now, this gets interesting because 5 up says, hey, impulse, and then 3 down, and then 5 more up. It continues going like that. But if you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, you've got this 7 swing right here, that usually tells you you've got an ABC. So if you've got an ABC, you're probably looking at something like maybe an A and a B. So a small A and a B, and then a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is a C. Or you can go maybe a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This actually works out pretty well as far as extensions go. That gives you an A, this is a B, and then you have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as a small C here, which hits the 60, just below the 61.8 retracement of this whole thing. Now that's important because usually a wave 2 is going to target at least the 61.8. So if this is an ABC up here, well, guess what? Now all of a sudden we've got much lower to go. If this is, at the very least an A, and this is a B, then on a breakdown of support down here, a breakdown through this low at 21,913.84, should minimally, I put that in the wrong place, should minimally give you a target of about, we always, on an ABC, we usually look for wave C to at least equal wave A. So at least 20,960. At 20,960, if this is an A and this is a B, then C will be the same height as A. That's usually what we look for as a minimum. But if this is a 1, 2, 3 coming down, then you're looking for price to get on down here to 19,472. As a matter of fact, 5 is a minimum of 18,552, and that gets you pretty close to this large, this is the weekly demand structure here. And this is the weekly demand structure EQ right down there, just a bit below it, about $200 below it. So it makes a really compelling case to get 5 down there. Now, to get 5 down there just means that's either going to be a 1 or an A. And again, if it's an A, it'll be an A, a B, and a C down, or it'll be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is the one thing people don't want to see because they start getting scared and they start thinking, oh my God, what's going to happen? Because everybody's hyped up, everybody's excited. Let me tell you something, guys. There's this little thing that went on this weekend between Saylor and Elon, or supposedly went on between them there in Twitter. Let me explain something to you guys. People of that magnitude do not speak like that publicly unless they're trying to get some kind of emotional movement. All right? Listen to what I'm saying. People of that stature, of where they are, do not openly discuss this. Oh man, I'm thinking about getting in Bitcoin. How would I do that? Oh, it's just like this. This is how you do it. As if as if they're going to do this, right? If they're talking about this publicly, usually that's, I hate to say it, but usually that indicates they're trying to get y'all to move price up. There's no other reason that they do that. Otherwise, they just get on the phone and call each other. Well, they don't have each other's phone number. Trust me, guys. With that kind of money, these guys know somebody who knows them. And they get the numbers real easy if they don't already have them, okay? And they're not going to not take phone calls from each other unless they're having a little tissy fit, little tissy going on, okay? Please understand this. And I say this because everybody got so excited. Our local, crypto journalists are getting all up in it, It's such silliness. There's a reason when people of that size do things, always suspect they've got an ulterior motive. Always suspect there's something that they're not telling you. Again, their end game is to protect and grow their wealth. That's their end game. Take what they say with a grain of salt. All this hero worship going on is just, it's scary, guys. Because I see y'all just put money in just because. Just because Saylor said something. Oh, and he's got a little bit of money. Ooh. His company was going to hell in a handbasket, guys. Now, I'm not saying he did this just to save his company, but he's doing this just to save his company. No, I didn't say that really. But I'm going to be honest with you guys. There's a good possibility that that's what's going on. His company's been going downhill for a while. He's getting beat out by cheaper, better software. We'll see what happens. But you guys have to go beyond the simple things that people are feeding you. Whether it's in the markets or whether it's whatever news it's online, it's too easy these days. Social media is very manipulative. You have to understand that, guys. You got to protect yourselves. And it's nobody out there responsible for your money but you. That's it. Take responsibility for it. It's hard. Yes. It's not easy, especially, if you're new to all this kind of stuff. It's not easy to know who's telling the truth and who's not. That's difficult. Yes. Which is why most people lose their money in the markets. But you got to do what you got to do to make sure that you're not one of those people. And that starts with always questioning what somebody like that says. Always wondering, is there something potentially going on? It doesn't mean you're a conspiracy theorist. It means you're being smart. If you're working for somebody, your boss doesn't care if you're there or not. If you're gone, they're going to get somebody else. They're going to hire somebody else. It may make them a little uncomfortable until they hire somebody else, but they're going to hire somebody else. They're not going to mourn you're leaving them. It's the same thing with that's what's going on here, guys. These are big people, okay? They don't have to answer to you, and they don't really care. I'm going to be honest with you. So you need to care about you, okay? Let's see here. Maybe some good live Bitcoin action on this stream. Yeah, it's starting to get a little bit of a drop there. All right. Coming in there a bit. Hey there, bud man. You agreeing with me? All right. I like that. Yeah. TV canal as well. Good to see you. Let's see here. This is Kotamo Experience. Hey, good to see you checking in. Sir Hold is talking about Saylor's company there and asking, do they even make tech anymore? I don't think so. They've got the best. I've never used their software. But looking at the at what it does, and the limitations and the functionality and all that and the pricing, they've got competitors out there that are giving people a lot more for a lot less. We do have somebody, I think it's somebody in Discord with us who's actually used their software for their company, and they were talking about the same thing about how it's very overpriced and all the issues they have with it and everything. Which, you can have issues with a lot of software too, but. Again, guys, I just throw this out there. I'm not saying that's definitely what he's doing, but I'm saying, man, if you aren't thinking that, if you aren't at least paying attention, you're risking losing your money. Don't risk losing your money. The last thing you want to do is go all in up here at 24, 25,000, have the market drop out from you, go down to 200, and then go back up again without you. Because you would have lost all your money probably trying to hold it as it came down. You would have definitely got scared and lost at some point. You got out, and then you would have been too scared to buy at 200 or 1,000 or whatever it's going to go to if it does that. And you would have missed all this opportunity, and then you're going to be too scared to get in even after that because you'd be like, no, I got screwed already once or 5 times or 250 times. How many times the market's done this? And that's not good. You don't want to do that. You want to protect your money, guys. All right? Let me see here. Vaginti says, I'm a total noob. Is this channel nice? I try to be nice. We usually kick people that aren't, so there's that. You're going to get a lot of information here. So if you want information about trading, if you want to learn how to trade, it's a good place to be. Give you a lot of stuff that you probably don't think about. Let me see here. So that's kind of where we're at, guys. Really, at the end of the day, your range is this right here. Right now, everything else aside, guys, this is your range. Oh, but Chris, that's such a big range. I know. Isn't it awful? Listen, guys, we can do this, all right? You've got a local range there as well, okay? But it's really, if you're dropping down below this swing low here, to me, that kind of opens up the idea this is a 1 down and a 2 up, and we've got a 3, 4, 5. Or at the very least, like I said, an ABC, and then you look for that, 20,960 target at least. But again, if it's a 1, 2, 3, you're looking down here about 19,472. Further downside here. Now, again, I've got this set up as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is potentially another higher high coming up here toward 25,000. And so, again, if that's the case, you would expect, let me get rid of these now. You would expect price to find support right here around the S2 pivot on the 15-minute. That's the 61.8 or so retracement level, which right here is the flip. It's support, resistance. It's the SR flip right there. So if you're tanking on down below that, you should be very cautious about trying to long at that point. All right? So it's just really kind of paying attention, being a little patient here and making sure what's going on here. Do we have 5 up, 3 down, and then we're going to head up? Or is this just A, B, something like this? Or is the count looking like this? I don't know. We could do A, B, a very short C here. Because, again, that is the other possibility here right now. Without any further knowing what's going on there. Because we have 7 swings up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now, the other thought is maybe this is an ABC down and an ABC up, and then we have 5 down here, so it's expanded flat. So we have a 1 here, and then we have A, B, C as an expanded flat. But like I said, in that case, you're going to get this retracement either the 38.2 where it just bounced, or down here around the 61.8, and it's going to go back up above that swing high. So if you get that, if you have price going either from here above, or, whatever it's doing here, and it ends up coming down here, so usually about that area, and then back above this swing high, then that tells you, okay, we probably got a 1, 2 done. Let's go up to 3 down here, up here around 24,573. But again, if you continue down below that S2 pivot, that should put you really cautious as far as, further upside, and look at maybe, if it drops down below that swing low, that tells you you've got those further lower targets there. Let's see here. I can see that. Your minimum wage earner, but recently taken interest in investing stocks. Be careful, okay? There are a lot of stuff going on right now. And I think, I've been warning against a macro top, credit bubble burst kind of thing, and that, we may be at that point. Those of you who weren't paying attention this weekend, Congress has come to agreement on a $900 billion stimulus bill. That will give you, remember back in March or April or whatever, when the checks went out, with the first one was $1,200. This time it's $600. It's much less. There's other restrictions, limits on it as well. But I had told Discord, our members in Discord, probably about a month or two ago, when there was, it was probably, I guess it was about September or something, coming into October, somewhere around there, when the stimulus bill talks were really big. And I had mentioned that, listen, I believe that, they were talking about $1 trillion at that time, 1.1 trillion. And I said at this point, I believe 1 trillion or so is kind of priced into the DXY. And I said they would need something significantly more than $1 trillion to really get a negative move, to really put downward price pressure on the DXY. And I believe this weekend is kind of supporting what I said then. Because we had that announcement yesterday and the DXY shot up like a rocket. And everything else took a hit. Stocks are down hard this morning. Gold and silver took a huge hit. Bitcoin, as you can see, took a huge hit. And we're going to, so if the dollar is bottomed, then you necessarily should expect that everything else is going to continue downward. So, that's what you have to pay attention to there. Yeah, we're just kind of at this point right now that I think either the DXY is bottomed or it's going to pretty quickly here. It's either, the bottom or wave 3. And so depending on that, we'll kind of wait and see what's going on here. So we'll kind of look, if you check here at the, let me see here. Here's the DXY. And I've got a pretty clear 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is a 1 and a 2. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is a 3 and a 4. And then 5 up is a 5. So, this gives us a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Which means if we're pulling back now, we're at the 61.8 right now. It could come lower down, but I'm looking for a 3-wave decline followed by further upside. So that's kind of where I am with this at the moment. So no telling that we're definitely at the bottom or not. Again, you notice I have my wave 3 label here. But this has been a pretty sharp expansion up here. Pretty sharp move up. And so we'll just have to see how it plays out from that. But I'm telling you right now, if this is the bottom here with the DXY, from this weekend, you guys see what happened. If you're paying attention to silver, gold, stocks this morning, they're all dropping. Bitcoin took that hit with this moving up here. This continues up, they're all going to continue going down. Why? Because if this is going up, if the DXY, the Dixie here is going up, that means the value of the dollar is rising. And if the value of the dollar is rising, then that means anything you buy with it, the value of that's going to decline. And it's going to decline because it takes less dollars to buy it. There's none of this, Bitcoin's going to do well. Listen, guys, I keep pointing this out. Recently, you've been hearing from more of these bigger players getting involved supposedly in Bitcoin, right? And what have they said? They have been quoted as saying, we're doing this as a preventive measure in case the US dollar loses value. So they're trying to use it as an inflationary hedge. Guys, if the DXY continues up, this is deflation coming in. And if deflation is coming in, that's the opposite of inflation. These guys are not going to hold on to an asset that's going to lose value. They're going to get the heck out. And they're going to get into dollars like everybody else. So be sure that you guys are paying attention to that, all right? Now, nothing's for sure right now. We're still waiting to see. But, it seems like we've got 5 up on the DXY right now. And so a 3-wave back, followed by 5-wave advance beyond that, starts opening up the idea that the bottom may be in with it. Let me see here. What's going on, LXT? Good to see you. Not a troll at all. Genuinely interested in this. Oh yeah. Yeah. Telluride knows. Telluride's been with us a long time. Again, guys, most of the people that you're going to see that are with us at TWC have been with us, like I said, at least 8 months. Many of them been with us for 2 to 3 years. And so if you need to understand, well, geez, is this something that's worth it for you? I can tell you all day long that I believe what we do is worth it, but I think it's better shown by people who have continued to remain with us over the years. They're not going to continue to remain with something and pay that money if they don't believe it's worth it. So yeah. Anyway, so this is kind of where we're at, guys. So we're kind of in this local range within this larger range, looking for a breakdown or a breakout. I am short right now. short at an average price of $23,055.10. I think that puts me about, geez, I don't even know, what is that? 23, and then what is it now? 22,780. Yeah, so I'm good for $220, $330 profitable movement so far. So that works out well. Let me see here. LXT, yeah, been with us for 18 months. Yeah, you have. Cryptograph thing's been here longer than you, LXT. But again, guys, what we do, the goal here, guys, is to just teach you how to think beyond what you do as a normal new trader. I've got a lot of years of experience. I've got a lot of education. You guys know this stupidness. I'm that guy that collects degrees just because I like to have all those papers hanging on the wall. Why not? I like the knowledge. But I've got 25 years of doing this, guys. My first big stock market hit, was the dot-com bubble. That woke me up. I called the 2008 great financial crisis top up there. Let's see here. We called the Bitcoin top in 2017. We told people to buy at 31 some change. We told them to buy again at 4. Told them to buy again at 6. Told them that the top was there around that 13,000 area. I've been cautious from about 9 or 10,000 on this most recent move up as we've advanced, because I've really started looking more seriously at the idea of a expanded flat, a large macro correction. And that's in line with the rest of what's going on in the world. With what's going on, again, Eurozone deflation, China's in deflation, U.S. is on the brink of deflation. But the U.S. dollar is the global world currency, guys. It's what most everything is done in business-wise throughout the world. So everybody's going to devalue against the U.S. And again, the value of the dollar is going to go up. They're going to devalue so they can get cheaper debt. Inflation will come at some point, but as I've been mentioning to you guys for a while now, I think we've got deflation, probably stagflation, and then we'll have inflation coming out of it. But that's not going to happen in the near future. The inflation. Again, everybody talks about the money printer going, and that's why all this inflation or whatever. But no, again, that's a misunderstanding of how QE works. I've explained that multiple times before, so be sure to look that up in my Twitter timeline there. Lots of links and explanations. But right now, at the end of the day, credit's contracting, guys, and that's what matters. If credit is contracting, then we necessarily are going to have to go into deflation. You can't not do it. That's why the Fed is so interested in getting inflation ramped up. That's why they're like, usually we're going to look at 2%, but you know what? If inflation gets to 3 or 4%, we're good with that. We'll let it stay there for a few months. Which is funny because inflation hasn't even been able to hit their 2.0 target yet, their 2% yet. And they're talking about, but if it gets up there, we'll leave it. So good times, right? We had a short deflationary hit back there in 2015. Again, looking for something a bit larger this time around. Let me see here. It said in 2017, you said Bitcoin would be 45, 50,000 by August. 2017, I said that in August? I don't think so. I know at the end of 2017, somebody was talking about, right there a few days before the top, they were talking about a week before the top, Bitcoin being 80,000 by February. And Scott and I were talking about that, and I told him, I said, man, that's the top. I had a little bit higher target. I was looking at maybe 21,000 or something like that, but pretty much top area there. Tops and bottoms, man, are hard to call. It's better just to trade as it's going. Make your money along the way. Let me see here. You need to rewatch. You have no clue why my account is going up. Well, then you need to rewatch LXT. A couple of different counts there. Again, a couple of different ones. I'll change the color on this one to make it look different here so it stands out a little bit more. Let's go here. Oh, we'll just put in black. There we go. Yeah, so anyway, so now we're just kind of waiting to see how this plays out here. Again, the big macro idea is... Oh, and I don't have it on this chart. Okay, give me just a minute. See if I can find a better chart for y'all, one that actually has it on it. For those who may be new and you don't know what's going on here, let's look at this one. Is this weekly? Is that the one we want? Ah, yes, this is the one we want. So remember, the big macro idea is potentially A, B, C is a B is an expanded flat. Expanded flat means C has to close below where A closed. Taking us back down. Still not saying this is guaranteed, but again, guys, if you're not aware, if you think things are bullish because you think things are bullish, I think you're doing yourself a disservice in terms of your money. Especially if you're a newer trader. If you've been around a while, that's one thing. Hopefully you've gotten enough through the the emotional stuff to be able to go, okay, maybe I'm wrong at this point and it's going to go back down and I need to get out. Most new traders, unfortunately, are buying up here and really excited because of all this Saylor and Elon Musk and all this other stuff going on. And so they're buying up here the same way they were buying up here. Same way they were buying right here. None of y'all, well, very few of y'all, were buying down here where Scott and I were buying and telling everybody to buy. Very few of y'all are buying, buying down here. We were telling people to buy right here around that 5,000 level, 4,500, 5,000. We were watching this actually in Discord as it was happening. We were talking through it. Noticing Coinbase was BitMEX let it down and Coinbase was leading it up. So we were doing a play-by-play in that. But like I said, it was right when we got here about this 9,000 level here, I started really giving a good look at the idea of potentially an expanded flat. And again, this would make a lot of sense in terms of everything that's going on, macro-wise, with the macroeconomic, macro-financial systems. But also in terms of the what do you call here? The chart. Let me see. This is Coinbase. Let me get back over here. Real quick here. I'll show you something else here real quick. This is something else I showed recently. I'm watching this area right here. This is the 3-day on Bitstamp here. But notice this area. Notice what's going on here in your indicators and everything. Notice your volume profile doing kind of the same thing here. So there's a good chance this may be a topish area up here, as we've already talked about. Remember that 23,272 is that 123.6 extension. Remember, if you measure this right here, it's 123.6% larger than Wave A. And that's usually where we look for a expanded flat to counter target that area. So that's kind of where we've been, just a little bit above that. So, I mean, again, just something to watch here. Let's see. This is Bitstamp. The same idea on Bitstamp here. Where is the other chart? Let's see. By the way, this now, if you're bullish, it's okay, and it's okay to be bullish right now. There's no definitiveness of what's going to happen. This is a nice 4-hour candle right here, and it's finding support around the 4-hour pivot, which is great. If you're losing this area, though, this is an easy drop. You're coming down to probably the mid-19s or so, probably right down around this 19,200, 19,300 area. There's nothing here holding you back from that. There's a little bit of volume right here, around 20,700 or so, 20,750, maybe give you a bit of a bounce. But, your support comes in down here, guys. 4-hour has room to fall, RSI. Stochk RSI is down. But again, it doesn't have to because it is finding support right here in this area, right here at the pivot. It's only if you lose that area should you really seriously start considering being down there. From a pivot's point of view, guys, and those of you that know me, I used to trade pivots. That's it for a few years. You move in between the R1 and the pivot here. You move in sideways between them. You come down. You've retested the pivot potentially. You need follow through back up above this swing high now. But if you can get that, that should say, okay, at least the R1, potentially the R2. All right? However, if you come down your bounce and you fall down below this level, that opens up at least the S1, usually the S2. And so now you start looking down there at 16,900. So, I mean, those are your big kind of levels as you're watching. If you can get back up above that swing high, then R1 at least, potentially R2. If you drop down below here, at least the S1. Watch your support right here around 19.2 or so, but then potentially S2 down here at 16.9. Then that's a minimal movement. This movement down to here could just be the beginning of that large decline. Especially, again, guys, if the DXY is doing this. Remember, the big picture of the DXY is this right here. This is a large bit of bullish divergence on the DXY daily from the 30th of July until the 17th of December. We're bouncing basically around this support here, which comes off of the 22nd of October, the 3rd of December, and then back over there on the 17th of December. It's support there on the S2 pivot, daily S2 pivot. But if you're still bearish on the dollar, okay, so right here, you want to see how does this daily end? Because right now, it's got a very large upper wick. And that suggests this could be the 4, and we could have a 5 slightly further down. But I think that's it. I don't think it's making any huge move down to 80 or 70 or any nonsense like that. Remember, this all kind of fits into the count we've got going on here, which has as a 1 and then an expanded flat as an A, B, and a C that it's working on right here. It's just one of a couple possible counts, but it's the one I think kind of makes the most sense at the moment. So that's why we'll continue to watch it there. But definitely, if the DXY closes up closer to that S1 pivot by the end of the day, it makes a case for a stronger movement. And we've still got another 6 hours to go for the end of the day. So there's definitely some possibility on that there. What are my thoughts on the stock to flow model? I mentioned that a little bit earlier. My real big concern with it is it's only a supply model. And it's not even a supply as in all supply on the market. It's a supply as in newly minted supply. Anybody that's taken any basic course in economics knows that supply alone does not dictate price. You have to have demand. Scarcity does not dictate price unless there is demand. There are a lot of things in this world there's very little of, and they're very cheap if you can get anybody to buy them at all. Just because there's limited availability of a thing does not mean that it's going to increase in value. Now, if you have increased demand and you have that scarcity, then it makes sense for price to go up. But if you're looking for price to go up merely because it's scarce, that's the biggest... I don't know, man. You know, if you think about it, that's the biggest bunch of smoke to be blowing up a rear end, right? Think about it. I don't even know what you'd put in there. But just think about anything that you don't like, you really don't like, and if it was scarce, or is it something you're going to be willing to collect? You know, most people aren't. Most people aren't interested in it just because something is scarce. Now, there's going to be your speculators out there who might not be interested in any way, but because it's scarce and they think they might be able to make a buck, they'll do it. But the whole idea of that stock to flow model is just, because there's less and less of something being created, it's going to be worth more. Again, you need demand, guys. Supply alone doesn't mean squat. All right. Sir Holt has a jumper that's a one-off and it's worthless. Well, as long as it means something to you. Tried to sell it on eBay as unique. No one bid it. Yeah, exactly. Oh my God, Crypto Mowgli. A strand of Donald Trump's hair is scarce. Would you pay a penny for it? Some people might. But yeah. That's what it is, guys. That doesn't mean that price isn't going to go up. It doesn't mean that price, isn't going to hit, 6 figures at some point or something. My thoughts is that it will. And that's why I'm in it. But it doesn't mean that you can't have a drop first. And technically, that decline that nobody wants and everybody's trying to ignore and pretend it can't happen because they're bullish and they want price to go up and they don't know what to do if it goes down like that and they're going to get scared. It's a very realistic possibility. Now, the further we start getting over 30,000, the less likely it becomes. Significantly less likely. But right now where we're at is the sweet spot. So we need to see what goes on here. And again, everything goes back to the dollar. Why is Bitcoin going to rise in price if the dollar is rising? Again, if the value of the dollar is rising, that means it takes less dollars to buy a thing. So the value of things necessarily is less. It drops. The only way Bitcoin could overcome that is to have significantly more demand so that as its value is dropping relative to the dollar, the demand is increasing it even more. That's a lot to ask for, guys. Especially, listen, you guys are all excited about the big guys coming in, but here's the thing. The big guys see Bitcoin as part of their overall plan. You guys are looking at Bitcoin as your plan. What does that make a difference? Because, again, if the value of the dollar is rising, it gives these big guys reason not to be in. And so all this excitement you had over them buying 750 million, 600 million, 100 million, whatever, all of a sudden all that becomes potential supply. Because they're not going to hold, guys. These guys aren't going to hold if it drops 50% in value, 70% in value. If they just bought up here at 23,000 and that's their first foray into Bitcoin, they're not going to sit there and hold it if it's dropping like 16,000, 15,000 or whatever. They're not. Because their goal is to protect their wealth, first thing. Second thing then is to increase it. You guys, no matter what you think or what you want to happen, you have to be realistic with yourself. You have to understand that whatever you think and care and feel makes no difference to the market. The market does not care about your feelings or what you think it should do. The market's going to do what it's going to do, period. But most traders can't get beyond that. They get stuck in there. This is what it should do. I need it to do this so I can be rich, so I can make money. If this goes back down, what am I going to do? I'm going to be a wage slave again. You have to look at trading holistically as something that you're going to do for a long time. Not something, if you're looking at trading as something you can make money this year and be rich next year and that's it, you're gambling. You might as well go to a casino. If you look at trading as a skill, something where you can produce income and wealth consistently over the years and build it up, then you've got a chance at being a successful trader. As long as you're trying to do it quick, fast, and in a hurry, and that includes a year time frame, it's not gonna do well for you. You kind of catch up to where we are here. Oh, so you're really looking at Coinbase here, right? Yeah, Coinbase chart there. Let me see here. Alex T says, I was and still am very excited since my trading account finally goes up, not down. I hope the curve persists. Yeah, it's a good thing, right? By the way, guys, these ideas, like the idea of this being a macro top, and we're talking about grand super cycle. We're talking about prior to 1930 coming up to now. That's the wave we're talking about. That's the credit wave. We had the Great Depression went in and out. We had monetary expansion there in large part, government expansion, all that during the New Deal. Following that, we went off the gold standard early 70s. We've been popping up credit ever since then. So this credit bubble's been building for quite a while. And it gets to a point where people don't want to spend anymore. People are scared. Who wants to go out and take new loans if you're scared that the economy is going to go off a cliff and you're not going to be able to pay it back? What banks are going to make those loans? They're not. That's the problem. That's the problem the Fed's having. Y'all keep saving and not taking out new loans. And on top of that, the banks are making it more difficult to get out loans. Everybody's doing exactly the opposite of what the Fed wants them to do in order to expand, to create inflation. So this is where we're at, guys. Now, again, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this isn't the top of the credit bubble here. But I'll tell you what, it sure as heck seems like it. Again, we've got significant contraction in personal and business credit. All these commercial real estate is starting to go off the edge. All the commercial real estate starting to come back. People unable to pay, so they're being foreclosed on. They're going to be auctioned off. It's going to be dead supply just sitting out there. It's going to take, and if supply is just sitting out there, if there's a glut of supply in housing, guess what happens? Or real estate, the price of real estate continues to drop in response because you have a lot of it. There's not, if your demand is 5 people and you have 10 buildings, guess what? Those 10 buildings have to fight for your $5, for your 5 people's dollars. So asset prices continue to come down. So lots of stuff to think here, guys. Have a great weekend there, Crypto Malga. A great week. Let me kind of catch up to you here. Honest King, what's going on, man? Would a reversal in DXY prime a reversal in shorts and ultra shorts of stock market indices? Oh, sure. Yeah. Yeah, because if there's going to be, if the dollar pops up, the stock markets are going to take a hit. And they're taking a hit this morning. So your inverse ETFs, all the different kinds, man. STRY or whatever it is. STR, I don't remember. TZA. I can't even think of them all right at the moment off the top of my head. But yeah, they should all eventually kind of, they should all be at that point where they're going to flip around and head up. So just remember, guys, if you get involved in those inverse ETFs, your 3 times ultra short or whatever, stuff like that, just do your homework on which one you want to get into. Check out its historical performance. And then make sure that you don't stay in it for a long time. It's not something that you sit there and hold for weeks and months on end. Because it's a lot higher cost. Because the portfolio has to be rebalanced every night. And so you have to pay more for that management of that portfolio. So the longer you stick around in it, the less profit you're going to potentially make, even if it's going in the direction you need it to go. So make sure you guys understand that when you're using those. Let me see here. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at with all that. Guys, I'm going to have to get out of here, guys. We're getting to the end of the day here. Remember, this is the only stream we're going to have this week because we will be closed Wednesday through Sunday. So I hope you guys, if you celebrate Christmas, you have a very Merry Christmas. If you don't, I hope you have happy holidays anyway. And guys, hey, listen, real quick here. Just remember, if somebody tells you Merry Christmas and maybe you don't celebrate Christmas, be a good person. Understand that person went out of their way to try and spread cheer and joy to you. You don't have to believe in Christmas in order to feel happiness from that. It's okay. You can say thank you. And you can tell them back happy holidays. And if you celebrate Christmas and somebody tells you happy holidays, again, the fact that they did that is them stepping up and trying to share joy with you. Accept it for what it is. Don't get all hurt about it. You're not going to convince everybody that they have to believe the same thing you believe. If human beings, if we can worry more about just people being nice to each other rather than so hateful all the time, guess what? The world's going to be a lot better place to live. Do your part. Just accept it and enjoy. Life's way too short, guys, all right? Telluride says Christmas starts the day after Thanksgiving in the U.S. I hope you guys have a fantastic week. Hey, Corn, 100K, good to see you there, bud. Like I said, join us at howtotradetowin.com. We will have a holiday pricing coming out here, special pricing coming out sometime this week. So follow me on Twitter, follow Scott on Twitter, follow us in Discord, and that way you guys will be able to be notified when it comes up. So if you'd like to join us on a cheaper dollar there, well, more expensive dollar, cheaper price though. That'll be there, okay? If not, I'll be back Monday. What is Monday going to be? Is that the 28th? Yes, Monday the 28th at 10 a.m. or 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. I always want to say 10, that old time we used to have. And we'll be back to talk about this and do this all over again. But in either case, guys, listen, I just hope you have a fantastic week. Take some time and breathe, relax. Be grateful that you get another day to make a difference. Not just in your life, but in other people's lives as well. That's what it's all about, man. That's really what it's all about, especially if you're fortunate enough to be doing well right now with all this nonsense going on around the world. All right? Thanks so much for joining in, guys. Have an absolutely wonderful year. Because it's almost over with, right? And hopefully 2021 will be a lot better than what 2020 was. Y'all take care. Remember, the only thing you control in the market is how much you lose. That's it, guys. That's it. Take care.